It's Wednesday, the 19th of June, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's go. Story number 1's a big one. The Reserve Bank has left the benchmark interest rate on hold, meaning no relief for homeowners, and it's warned that it is still worried about persistent inflation.
Or in Reserve Bank speak, Governor Michelle Bullock said the central bank is still alert to upside risks. In fact, the board discussed lifting interest rates, though a rate cut wasn't even considered. The official cash rate remains at a 12-year high of 4.35% after this week's two-day board meeting, but the board's worried that inflation remains above target and is proving very persistent. The April monthly CPI data, which was up 3.6% for the year in headline terms, was noted in the statement, as was the strong labour market and indecent wages growth, recent federal and state budgets, and a lack of productivity improvement. And the Reserve Bank reckons there's still excess demand in the economy. That's not what we want. The bank said the outlook is highly uncertain and the process of returning inflation to the 2 to 3% target band is unlikely to be smooth, noting that services inflation is a particular problem. As always, the bank said the main priority is getting inflation back to target. Perhaps the silver lining in all this is a comment from Michelle Bullock. During the press conference, she believes the board has done enough to get inflation back in control.
Just quickly, Sean, how did markets and economists react to this yesterday?
Shares fell after the 2:30 p.m. announcement. Bond yields rose. Aussie dollar jumped back above 66 US cents. That suggests that the tone of the statement was a little more hawkish, a little more supportive of higher interest rates rather than lower interest rates. The critical reference point will be the June quarter CPI figures, which are due out in 6 weeks' time. If that's higher than expected, then a rate rise at the August board meeting is a possibility. The consensus view among economists is still that the Reserve Bank's next move will be down late this year or early next.
All right, Sean, on to story number 2 now. The federal government has lodged a protest with the Chinese embassy after members of Premier Li Qiang's delegation attempted to block journalist Cheng Lei from view at a press conference on Monday.
Ms. Cheng was detained for 3 years in China on national security grounds, but was released as relations stabilised. She now works for Sky News. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese told the ABC yesterday that the attempt by Chinese officials to block her from sight during a parliamentary ceremony was concerning. Now, she actually moved seats during the signing ceremony, but her view was again obstructed. Mr. Albanese said there should be no impediments to Australian journalists going about their job. He said that the government has made that clear to the Chinese embassy.
Sean, story number 3, there could be major changes coming to the buy now, pay later sector, including retailers adding on a surcharge for the service after the Reserve Bank said it will launch a review of payments regulation.
Now, one of the selling points of buy now, pay later is that there is no surcharge like there is with a credit card, but the Reserve Bank's inquiry will consider whether it should force buy now, pay later operators to allow retailers to pass on the cost of services through something like a surcharge. It might mean a small percentage increase when you pay using a buy now, pay later product. The central bank said it will launch a review once the federal parliament passes its bill to provide it with stronger powers over digital wallets such as Apple Pay and other buy now, pay later operators. The bank yesterday said that the buy now, pay later sector continues to grow. It was worth about $20 billion in value last year, but the average fee charged to retailers from a buy now, pay later service is 3.4%, way above what they get charged for debit cards and credit cards.
Story number 4, Australia has been placed 13th out of 67 countries in terms of competitiveness, helped by global commodity prices and a healthy jobs market.
The Swiss-based Institute for Management Development is considered one of the top schools in the world and its rankings are highly regarded. Australia's ranking this year is its best since 2011, helped along by business and government investment, population growth and a reasonable budget position. IMD's rankings consider economic performance, government efficiency, business efficiency and infrastructure. Singapore came in at number 1, Switzerland was 2, Denmark was 3. Survey respondents were also asked to consider what factors would have the greatest impact on business this year. AI came in at the top, then the global economic slowdown, and then geopolitical conflicts.
All right, last one. Story number 5. Johnson & Johnson has been hit with a new lawsuit from former users of talc who claimed that the world's largest maker of healthcare products hid the cancer risks of its iconic baby powder.
Lawyers representing ex-talc users have asked a New Jersey federal judge to set up a medical monitoring class to cover the expenses of doctors' visits and tests for women worried about gynecological and ovarian cancers. J&J officials dismissed the proposed class action as a meritless complaint. J&J now faces more than 61,000 lawsuits blaming talc used in baby powder and similar products for different types of cancers. Many of those cases have been consolidated before the judge in New Jersey that we're talking about here. J&J maintains its talc-based products don't cause cancer, and it's marketed its baby powder appropriately for more than a century. It's also asked the thousands of people suing it to vote for a settlement that would resolve all litigation for about $11 billion.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 19th of June, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts, or at fearandgreed.com.au, which is also where you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. You better hurry, though, because it comes out this morning, so don't miss out. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.